This is my story of when I travelled to a country to discover its beautiful gastronomy, its fantastic culture. We seek out some of its most famous beauty spots, and we take in its stunning landscape. We hit up the seventh wonder of the world, and we take in the beautiful Red Sea. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me on my trip around the Kingdom of Jordan. A very good morning from me here on the Dead Sea, and we're just waiting for our driver for the day. We have hired a driver and guide, very cheap, all day, $50. So what we're going to do now is we're going to leave the Dead Sea. We're going to drive the 20 minutes up the highway, and we're going to go to one of the most sensitive sites on the planet. We're going to head to the banks of the River Jordan. Now this is where JC Superstar was baptized, but I'm not really going to see anything religious. We're going there because we're going to be so close to the West Bank. So yeah, this is more of a geographical trip. I'm looking forward to this, and we're going to see some incredible sights. After we've done that, we're going to head up the mountain to Mount Nebo, which should give us beautiful panoramic shots across the Middle East, and we should be able to see several countries, guys. So yeah, let the adventure continue. Come on, guys.
And Israeli forces have killed a Palestinian during fighting in the city of Jericho in the occupied West Bank. Israel says a female soldier was wounded during the violence.
The renewed wave of violence and vengeance between Israelis and Palestinians continued today as a Palestinian gunman killed a motorist near the city of Jericho on the occupied West Bank. The U.S. ambassador to Israel said the victim was an American.
Yeah, just a bit of history before we film this episode, so just boning up on some facts really. So without any time to film or think, we swapped from our car to a minibus. So this is where we joined our tour of this special area. So this is the main checkpoint we need to pass through, and of course a soldier comes on the bus and does a head count to make sure the same people that go into the demilitarised zone come out. But here we are, guys. We're going to walk to our first point of interest on this tour, and there's quite a few of us on the tour. There's about 9 or 10 of mixed nationalities. So here we are, guys, just walking towards the border with Palestine. As I said before, I don't know how much I am able to film. As I say, we are in the demilitarised zone between Jordan and the occupied West Bank. And we should actually come face to face with the occupying forces when we get closer to the banks of the River Jordan. So I'm trying to do this as discreetly as possible because, of course, not only is it so significant for religions, for holy sites, Christianity here, but it also is the borderlands.
This is River Jordan. After the river is Palestine over there.
And as we look over the border into Palestine, we realise that there is a large plume of smoke rising from the city of Jericho. Now, we did a bit of research late that evening as to what that smoke was, and we found in local news that that was actually the occupying forces going in and destroying Palestinian refugee camps in the city of Jericho. They also raided some shops as well. So I guess that's what the smoke was from. So there we are. That just shows you how close we are to the occupied West Bank, to Palestine. We have Jericho over there to the left, and we can actually see smoke rising over the city of Jericho. So yeah, we've just been joined by our Jordanian army escort who's walking in front of us, armed guard, as we make our way to the most sacred point and the most interesting part of this tour. Come on, guys. So on the next clip coming up is an explanation by our tour guide of the religious sites we're standing in front of now. If you want to skip this, please feel free to do so.
Of 5 churches built at the same place where Jesus was baptized, and these 5 churches, they call them with John the Baptist churches, or the churches of Jordan River. The first church, it's a chapel, it's this one, the one of the 4 piers. Then, and over there we have 3 churches. We have shelter and one outside over there. The church outside will be on the left hand of us now when we go down to the river, and the last one, it's this one, the one under the 2 ropes. You can see like a semi-circular complex. This complex, we call it with oratory or oratory. It's smaller than the chapel. But what connects between here and over there? The staircase of marble. By the way, the staircase of marble, it is the staircase itself that mentioned by Frank Arculfus, the French pilgrim, who visited this place in 670 AD, when he described a staircase of marble leads to the site where Jesus was baptized. Here. Here? Yes. Not over there. That is the beginning of the staircase. The end it's by this water. Therefore, recently, not in 2000, now, to be honest, we discovered the site in 1997. That lasted about 5 years. In 2002, they opened the site officially for the tourists. In 2004, they explored that the Byzantines or the Orthodox, they established a cross by the end of the staircase. We mean by the cross, the shape of the water. When the water fills among the 4 piers, the water takes the shape of the cross. So the people in the past, or the early believers, when they were coming from Bethlehem and Jerusalem, they were renewing baptism here. If they are adults, they were renewing the baptism here. They are already baptized at the church, but they come to Jordan River to renew baptism. Therefore, the churches in 2002, when we opened the site officially, they began to activate that old Orthodox tradition. Every year in January 6 or January 19, the pilgrims, they come from Palestine and from Jordan, and they meet by Jordan River to celebrate the Epiphany Day. So the chaplains, they bring with them the big wooden crosses, and they bless those crosses in Jordan River. Therefore, spontaneously, as I told them in Arabic now, we are going to the church. So you can get inside the church, and meanwhile you can take with you like crosses, rosaries, bless them in Jordan River. Anybody interested to renew baptism, you can take like gowns from the church. We have changing rooms. You can change, then go into the water. We call it with baptism renewing. Now you are like imitating, that old Orthodox tradition. So now we need about 5-6 minutes walking till we get by the church. Then we go down to the water, and then we will visit the Greek Orthodox Museum. So please, from here.
So guys, back to the topic of this video. Can you see the Special Forces guy standing there to the left of the camera as we walk past him? So guys, how fantastic was that? The tour guide is really, really knowledgeable, and he knows far more than me, so I'll leave that explanation in the video. But yeah, we're going to make our way closer towards the front line, I guess, and we should be there in about 6 minutes or so. I can't see if our military escort is behind us, but I know he's around somewhere just guarding our safety as we get closer to the Palestinian border. So we can still see that smoke rising there in the distance from the city of Jericho as we make our way towards the border, towards the banks of the River Jordan. And it's an absolutely glorious day today. It's about 16 or 17 degrees, so a perfect day to do this tour. So guys, we're at the climax of the tour behind me. You can see this entrance down here. This will take us onto the banks of the River Jordan. I can already see the occupiers' flag flying on the other side. It's amazing to think just 500 metres from here is the city of Jericho in the occupied West Bank. So come on guys, let's take a closer look at the border. So let's make our way down onto the banks of the River Jordan as we get our first glances from across the river over there in Palestine. This is the closest we're going to be able to get. You can see the military down there waiting on the jetty. You can see the occupiers' flag, and I thought this was the occupying forces, but it just looks like a geezer from the other side taking a stroll. But yeah, there we are, guys. We are looking on to the city of Jericho. Just about 500 meters or so down the road, you'll start making your way into the city centre, but obviously you cannot cross this. You'll be shot by forces on either side. So yeah, we know we're being watched and surveilled very closely while we're in this sensitive area, but everyone's down here. They're taking pictures of the other side, and of course we're going to zoom in here just looking for military activity over in Jericho. We can see a civilian just walking along the walkways over there, but yeah, it's incredible how close we're able to get to the border. This is it. Absolutely incredible.
So here we are. This is the closest point we can get to Palestine. It's only 2 or 3 meters behind me. We can see the infrastructure here by the occupying forces. We can see the occupiers' flag flying over Jericho. This is the city of Jericho just behind me, just 500 meters, an integral part of the Palestinian West Bank. But unfortunately, the occupying army, they control this part. So yeah, we can hear the children behind us playing in the river. I think everyone has the right to live in this area, but obviously just 500 meters away from where we're standing, there's a lot of oppression, a lot of torture, and a whole apartheid system happening just meters away from here. So bittersweet. It's beautiful to see this site, but you think about all the pain that's going on just a few meters away, guys.
So let's take our last shots here of Jericho as we head back inland and we head towards the end point of this tour.
So there we are, guys. We've done our tour of the borderlands. We're still in no man's land and trying to find our way out. Very important to keep the paths here, because everything either side of the path is landmined. So yeah, stick to clear paths when you're visiting the area. What we're going to do now is we're going to leave this site, we're going to jump into our motor, and we're going to head up to one of the highest points in Jordan, Mount Nebo. Come on, guys. So here we are, guys. We've arrived at Mount Nebo. Now this is the place where Moses was shown the promised land, or in Islam, Prophet Musa. We're not really here for the religious things, as I keep saying in this video. What we're going to do is we're going to go right to the very top, and we're going to try and get some fantastic shots and views of the Middle East and the Levant region. So come on, guys. So here's quite a funny story. We've arrived here at Mount Nebo. We went to buy our tickets because they're not included in the Jordan Pass. We got there, but we're not actually carrying any cash at the moment. So when I went to pay with the card, he said, "No card, I just need cash." I'm like, oh no, I don't think there is a ATM anywhere round here in the mountains. The only thing we had was 3 Gibraltarian pounds. And with that, that secured our entry in. Should have been 3 Jordanian dinars, about £4 each. We got 2 tickets for 3 Gibraltarian pounds. Now I wonder how long it's going to take him to realise that you can't use those pounds outside of Gibraltar. But there we are, guys. Here we are, free little trip to Mount Nebo. Come on.
So it was only a 20-minute drive from the River Jordan up here to Mount Nebo. And the weather has got drastically cooler here. So there's a lot of cool sights and monuments to see here, as this is quite a sacred place in all 3 major religions. But let's take a look over the Jordan Valley here, and this is an absolutely spectacular scene we can see here.
So guys, let's look at this really incredible view. We can see here the Jordan Valley, and we can actually hear in the distance explosions and gunshots. Now, I'm trying to get my bearings as to where I believe this way is towards Syria, towards Amman, the capital of Jordan. Over this way, we are facing towards Lebanon. You've got Mount Hermon, and I think the Golan Heights this way as well. So everything on this side onwards will be Palestine. So what we're going to do is we're going to go round the church because we've got a much better view from there. Come on, guys.
So some incredible views up here as we look towards the country of Syria, northern Jordan here, only about 70 kilometers away. And now we've reached the other side of the church. We can see all across Palestine, and yeah, absolutely glorious views. We can see down there the city of Jericho where we were not so long ago. It is such a fantastic view up here. What's great about this viewpoint is they have a map here so you can see exactly which cities you're looking out at. So from left to right you can see as far as Hebron, Jerusalem, Bethlehem, Ramallah, Nablus, and of course Jericho is the shortest distance from us as we were just down there about an hour ago or so now. But yeah, we can see the city of Jericho there very clear. You can see that smoke as well down there that we saw close to the border as we pan across and we look towards the city of Jerusalem.
So here we are, guys. We have some absolutely incredible views going straight across the River Jordan and heading into Palestine behind us. We can occasionally hear gunshot coming from that side, and as well fighter jet was flying about just now, but I wasn't able to capture it, or I wasn't even able to spot it, but I could definitely hear it. So yeah, strange to think that only 10 kilometers away or so there is conflict, but here in Jordan it is ever so peaceful. Don't let the neighbours put you off of visiting Jordan. It's absolutely fantastic, a mind-blowing country. But come on guys, let's continue our walk around.
So we can see this recently excavated mosaic here looking absolutely fantastic as we take a look at another notable point here. This is the olive tree that was planted by Pope John Paul II.
So wow, there we are. I hope you've enjoyed this video exploring the borderlands and seeing the beautiful views of the Middle East. It's a very cool place to visit, Mount Nebo, and I definitely think you should add it to your list if you are coming to Jordan. Now from me here on this very holy site, I'm going to be heading off now to the capital, Amman. The camera's out of battery, so he needs to go on charge. And of course, I need to recharge with some decent food and maybe a bit of shopping as well, we'll see. Our trusty driver is waiting for us outside Mount Nebo, so we're going to go meet with him and head off into the capital. But from this very special episode here in Jordan, thank you for watching as always, guys, and I shall see you all on the next adventure.